Hey there, funnel builders. How you doing? Mike here from Sell Your Service, and today I want to talk to you about how I'm creating the social content for our killer blog post. What I'm going to be talking about is how taking the content that I've written in the blog post, which at the moment sits around 23,000 words, and just give you an overview of how I'm creating a lot of Instagram content, Twitter content as well. I'm not going to go into like the social posting side because there's 101 tools out there that does that. But I am going to talk a little bit about where I'm getting content from and how to spread it out, and also hopefully show you that it's not necessarily a case of writing a piece of content and moving on. We were very successful last year and this year with writing one piece of high quality content and spending a lot of money and time promoting that post, continuing to write shorter posts, and just relying on SEO and kind of a little bit of social media automation. Last time we talked a little bit about creating kind of quotes from the content that I'd already collected. So I've got the post available here. I'm going to make sure the link is available below. And it's also in the comments, should be in the comments. And what I've done is I've gone through this now and I've added a load of like little GIFs and images just to help break out and make it slightly easier to read. Like I said, I'm not a huge fan of adding images and memes for the sake of it, but I do believe it makes it slightly easier to consume when you have a visual representation, and it also just injects a little bit of personality. Hopefully shows that I don't take my content or my business or myself too seriously. If I jump into the edit, what you can see is I've got loads of these Instagram style posts dotted throughout the content. Now, if you remember, when I had finished writing the content, I was going through and doing the editing, I had written out a load of quotes. Now, 23,000 words will give you plenty to work with. And we had 50, bang on 50 here, including the title. And what I've done is I've taken each one of these, I've written them up inside a Google Doc. I sent them over to my VA, and she converted them all into kind of Instagram style posts. It was a pretty simple formula that I gave her. In fact, I might even be able to, maybe I could bring up, oh, I can't bring up the brief. I think it must be somewhere else. Okay, that's fine. It basically says we've got 50 quotes. I want half of them with an image and half of them with just a plain background. And you can see that there's a variety of fonts. I was pretty open and I said, look, this green color is our main brand color. We like black and we like white as well. But if you think that there's something else that works, go for it. That's absolutely fine. Some of them have got this little Adobe Spark watermark over it. Again, I'm not too concerned about that. I think the biggest thing about social media is people try to get a lot of their pictures absolutely perfect because they want to generate as many likes or as many comments. Now, a lot of this is going to be going to Instagram. I will now put this blog post as the main link in my bio for Instagram, and I'm also putting the link in the post if people happen to be online and viewing it via their PC browser or whatever, via their internet browser. But small things like this, yeah, it's not perfect and I hadn't really thought it through. I can actually crop that out, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to crop that out really quickly. But the half-life of this content is so short that it doesn't really bear worrying about too much. There's no point in me sending it back and having all 50 redone. You can see here that I've taken like a few quotes. It says like, businesses that succeed and grow and become profitable for the owner do so because the owner is willing to do the work that others aren't. Or businesses succeed because they overcome problems, not because they don't experience any. So there's just loads of these little quotes. And what I've done is I've then gone back through my post, and I've added these in where they are. So for example, the quote here, the actual text is, if you hire someone to do a job and they do a bad job, that's 100% absolutely your fault. So here we go. If you hire someone to do a job and they do a bad job, that is 100% absolutely your fault. What I'm also doing now is creating Instagram and Twitter and Facebook content that I can then post out. So what I do is I use Later as a scheduling tool, and I'll look through the next one. The last one was this little chess piece here. For some reason, I've got this all in multiple tabs, and if I try and find that chess piece, I've already done this one. No. And so the next post, here we go. The next post is quite long one about complaining every time you have to reduce your price. What I'll do is take the content here, the paragraph. If you're complaining about reducing your price, the fastest way to increase your prices. So I'll take this, I'll copy it, jump over to Later, I'll find the Instagram post and drag that in. Now with Later on business accounts, you can schedule posts. If you have a personal Instagram account, you can schedule posts, but you actually have to have the Later app on your phone, and then that's how you post them. But with a business account like I've got, you can actually schedule them in real time. So I'm going to post that in there. That's a little bit of written content, but also to back that up, I've pre-written some content here with a load of hashtags and a link and the title of the blog post all inside Quip here again. So I'm going to jump back to Later, paste that in. You have quite a lot of room with Instagram. They have like a really long limit count. This is now, I've dragged it over to the time and date that I want to do it. I'm just going to be posting one a week. I've got 50, so it's just shy of a year for us to be able to post that. Maybe I'll ignore kind of around the 1st and the 3rd of 1st of January and the 25th or something. And if I save that, there we go. In fact, actually, I'm just going to edit this again because I think this has still got the watermark in it. So if I jump into Later, it allows you to do some very quick cropping. Square crop. I'll bring that in slightly and drag that down. Update. There we go. Now, again, in an ideal world, I'd have my logo on it. It'd be watermarked. That's round 2. You know, you're constantly learning these things, and I should have asked for that, but I didn't. So I'd rather post this and learn from my mistakes than not post it and just kind of get it out there and get it done. So this is the process that I'm going to be going through for every single post, scheduling them, making sure that they go out via Instagram, and making sure that each one of these kind of quote-based posts, these do really well. These do really well for follower growth as well. My advice as well, if you're thinking of doing this, head over to something like Fiverr or People Per Hour. Get a load of quotes from your content and have someone whip up these images. I think this cost me like 40 quid or 40 bucks or something to have someone go through them really, really quickly. And yeah, that's kind of how we're going around and checking out our content. So checking out our Facebook content and Instagram content compared to with our posts. So thank you very much for watching. If this was useful, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to know if you use Later or if you use another scheduling software, because none of them seem to be perfect. I've tried Hootsuite, I've tried Postcron, sorry. So yeah, I kind of Later seems to be the best that I could find at the moment. And in the meantime, guys, yeah, I will see you on the next video. Keep building those funnels.